Hey besties, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Aurelie, and as you can tell by the title of the video, I'll be doing a get ready with me as well as updating you guys what I've been doing for the past years. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to prep our skin, and these are the two things I mainly use, which is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream and then the Pure Thomas Roth sunscreen SPF 50. I put this on first and then this, so yeah, sunscreen is very important, especially since it's already summer. I pin my hair back because I do not want it in my face when I'm doing my makeup. I pretty much put this everywhere, even on my neck. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and then I'll put on the moisturizer. So let's backtrack 3 years ago. 3 years ago I used to do YouTube. My last video was I think it was the updated brow routine, but I did one after that. I think it was a skincare video. And I had stopped filming. I wish I didn't, but I did stop filming, which I hated. So basically 2021, I was at my highest weight. I was not in the right mindset. I did not take care of my health at all. It was just really bad, just really bad. And then it got to a point where I was constantly drinking, eating very badly. Like I was always binge eating junk food, and it was just horrible. And I slowly started to realize like I'm gaining weight, but then it got to a point where other people were noticing that I was gaining weight, which nobody wants to hear that, you know. So I remember like one of my close friends, he's one of my childhood friends. We've been friends since I think kindergarten. We've been knowing each other for like basically our whole lives. I'm putting on the e.l.f. moisturizer now. Excuse me. I remember, I think I was telling him a story, and I remember him saying, "Oh, I was wondering why you were getting so big." Y'all, that literally, like, I was just like, damn, like, I knew I was getting weight, but like, it got to the point where other people were noticing, you know? And then when he said that, I was just like, fuck, like, I really gotta do something, like, I really gotta start doing better. And then, yeah, that honestly killed me. At the same time, it was kind of like a wake-up call, if that makes sense. So then, he goes to the gym, my friend. He's been going to the gym for years now, so like, there'd be times where he would just tell me like, "Oh, why don't you just go to the gym?" And honestly, like, I'm a broke college student, so like, I couldn't really afford going to the gym. So like, eventually, like, I live on a ranch, so eventually I would just like walk around like where I live, try to get as much, like, at least like 10,000 steps, you know. And I started doing that, started like kind of eating better, but I was still like eating a lot of junk food still. So I started slowly losing weight, but like, it was weight, not fat, if that makes sense. So then, and then by 2022, I think I did lose a lot, not a lot, but like I lost some weight, but still wasn't satisfied or where I wanted it to be. 2023 is when I started school. For those of you guys don't know, I'm a college student. My major is animal science, but I'm trying to be a veterinarian or work in any like field of vet tech, vet assistant, or like work at an animal hospital or like ranch operation, like anything like that. So I started school, like in-person school, and honestly, like, I was kind of scared because I was like so insecure. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like, I don't know. I was low-key I was like very nervous, but at the same time I was just like, I need to make friends, like, I need friends. So class started, and I think it was fall 2023. I'm gonna put this primer on, and then I'm gonna let it set just for a bit, and then yeah. So fall 2023, I had, I think I had 4 classes. 3 were in person, and I think 1 was online. I think I had equine science, which is like horses, and then I had Chem 1A, which is, I think, organic chemistry, and then I had, I think it was agriculture economics, something like that, yeah. And then the online class was Spanish, because I just needed, like, I think it was just an elective, like, just to have a class. So I'm just gonna let it set just for a bit before I put on makeup, because I don't want my makeup to look separated or anything like that. So my Chem 1A class was literally horrible, so I failed it. I failed that semester. And then for the agriculture economics, I barely passed it. Those 3 classes, it was a lot, because I was pretty much going to school every other day. My school's an hour away, so I had to drive there for an hour and then go to classes and then drive an hour back. Okay, now I'm gonna do my eyebrows, but I'm gonna do that off camera only because it's gonna take long, and then plus I want to do a separate video on that. But I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna be using though. I'm using the Colourpop Clear Feather Effect Styling Wax. Looks like this. And then they sent me this in a PR package. I think this is like one of the brushes. It doesn't have a name, but it looks like that. It's like a slanted. You could use any like spoolie brush, doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'll be back with my brows done, and then we'll continue doing the rest of our base. Okay, so now I finished my brows. Now I'm going in with the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I don't know how to say the shade, but I'll put it down on the description. And I use the Real Technique Dome Shadow Brush. It's like this, like the shape. And I basically spot conceal any parts of my face. Now I'm going to do my eyelids with the same Nars concealer. Since I failed my Chem 1A class, I had to retake it again this semester, and I took it again with the same professor only because I remember her saying that she basically reuses the same exam. So I'm like, oh bet, like I basically already have all the notes and everything, so like why not? So spring 2024 was when I retook it. Thankfully I didn't have that much classes. I think I only had 3, which was Chem 1A, which I had to retake, and then I have Small Ruminants, which is it was like another of my equine science, but like that one was with goats and sheep, and I honestly love that class, loved it. And then I think I had business law, which was pretty easy. Okay, now I'm going to use the CC Nude Glow SPF 40 by It Cosmetics in the shade, I think this is medium, I don't know. They sent me this in a PR, and honestly I'm in love with it, and plus it has SPF, so which is good for your skin. So the Small Ruminants class, honestly, like those are like one of the main animal science classes because they're hands-on classes, and I was, oh my god, like I literally love that class. Some of the reasons why I loved it is because we did a lot of hands-on stuff in that class compared to the equine science where we barely did anything with the horses. I got to it was kidding season. Kidding season is when the goats give birth, which is a term for baby goats. And then it was lambing season 2. Now I'm going to blend this out. First I'm going to spray my whole face with the airbrush, the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush flawless setting spray, and then use a beauty blender. This one's kind of dirty, but this is the only one I have, so with the Small Ruminants, I know nothing about goats and sheep, but like the hands-on stuff, like I did really good. Like I did good on vaccinating the baby goats, the baby lambs, weighing them, you know, like ear tagging them, which I literally hated because they would cry and they were just like, oh my god, like they're in pain. Another one was when we had to dehorn the all male kids, and it's when you get like a hot iron and you basically like, when they're like a week old, they start growing their little horns, and we get a hot iron and we basically have to burn it down. It was so sad because like they would cry, and then like just the smell of it, just like, oh my god, like it's in pain. I just felt so bad. Then I'll be using the WetnWild contour stick. I think this is the shade in 806 Where's Walnut, this one. I've been wanting to try out other contour sticks, but like I'm kind of scared to use them. Like I wanted to try the Charlotte Tilbury, but I heard so many bad things about it, so I was just like, never mind. Plus it's a bit pricey, so I was just like, I'm gonna just stick to my shit. So now I'm going to blend this out using the same thing, but this time I'm not going to spray my face. I'm just going to spray it on here. So yeah. Okay, now I'll be using the Infallible 24 Hour Full Wear Concealer by L'Oreal. This is in the shade 385 Amber. So yeah, that's pretty much what's happened in the past 3 years. Not much. Horrible. You know. So once you put on your concealer, I'm going to let it sit just for a little bit, but I'm going to blend this out and then I'm going to put blush. So yeah, I hated 2021 with passion. But now if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I go to the gym now, so obviously like my health is a lot more better. And because when I was at my biggest, like one of the main reasons why I knew my health was really bad, I had low iron. So like there would be times where I would stand up and I would damn near like pass out. Like it was that bad. And there would be times where I would pass out from like being dehydrated and stuff like that, and it was just like, it was just horrible. Okay, now I'm going to put on blush, which is the Rare Beauty in the shade Grace. It's very dirty. Don't mind that. So I honestly put it on one side at a time because I feel like it dries pretty fast. And I remember I did that mistake once where I put the blush on both sides and then one side it dried and it literally did not want to move. So now after you blended out your blush, I'm going to blend out my concealer. And when I blend out my concealer, I always use a dry sponge. The only part I wet is this part, but that's only from like my face. But for my under eyes, I use like the dry part, only because I don't know, for some reason, like if I wet it, it makes my makeup separate, or like it makes it look like very cakey, and I don't like that, so I use it dry. So after that I blended everything out, I'm going to spray again with the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray, but for this I'm gonna spray all over my face and then let it dry, completely dry. I think my setting spray is completely dry. I'm going to be using the One Size translucent powder. I am literally in love with this. I love this so much. And yeah, I'm going to use this. I use the separate beauty blender. This one's dry too. I don't wet it when I set my powder. So yeah, I'm going to blend my under eyes, you know, so that I don't crease, or you know, to avoid any creasing. So what I do is like I put powder and then I'll use like the back of my hand and then like pat it so that there's not that much powder on here, to avoid it looking like very cakey. Okay, so now that you're done setting your whole face, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I do so that I avoid creasing, especially if you're gonna be like wearing like your makeup for hours type stuff. Get like any beauty blender or like anything that you could pick up your setting powder with. So basically you see this folder here, this is where you're going to put the setting powder. So like it's kind of like baking, but just instead of the whole under eye, it's just gonna be on that fold. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's only on that, the folded area, not the whole under eye, if that makes sense. Now I'll be putting on powdered bronzer. I use the Fenty Beauty Illuminating in Stalk'r. And honestly, I'm in love with this bronzer. There's so many times where I dropped this and thank God it never broke. So after bronzing, I'm going to put blush, powder blush. I'm using the Colourpop pressed powder blush in the shade Swifted. It's dirty, I'm sorry. They gave me this in a PR package. This is what it looks like. I love this shade only because it's not too dark but not too light. So yeah. I usually put blush like right here. Sometimes I put it under like right here, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I forgot one step. Contour my nose. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. eye crease brush. It's kind of like a dome shaped type of brush like this. And I'm gonna use the same Fenty Beauty bronzer. And then I'll go like with the fluffy brush. This one's called the Real Technique Essential Crease Brush. So just blend it out in case if it looks too harsh. Okay, so now we're gonna do our eyes. I don't do much for my eyes. Probably just like a wing liner and then like lashes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna curl our lashes. And then I'm going to put on mascara. I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Sky High mascara. I'm using the NYX brow tint pen. I'm gonna use this kind of like as a stencil, and then I'm gonna go over with black eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna do like a little liner like this, and then I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, so now I'm done with the liner. They're not even, but that's fine. I'll be using the Colourpop Roaring Hearts palette, and I'll be using this black shadow. So now that I finished doing that, I'm going to put on lashes. The lashes I'll be using is from BWispyy, the style 30. I will be putting her Instagram in the description. I'm honestly in love with her lashes. I got so many from her last pop-up. So yeah, this is how they look like. I don't know if you guys can see it because I don't want it to reflect. Alright, so after you put on your lashes, I'm going to do mascara just to blend out my real lashes with the fake ones. So at this point, usually I'll be done with my eyes and just leave it at that. But I'm going to do a little liner in the inner corners. I don't know what it's called. If you know, you know. So that's that. And then I'm going to blend out the translucent powder that I had put under my crease from a couple steps ago. I'll be using the MaryKay illuminating drops. You can use any like liquid highlighter, doesn't really matter, or powder. I usually just use my finger to put it on. I'll put it on the sides. Alright y'all, we're almost done. We just need to do the lips. I'll be using the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF 3. So after lip lining your lips, I'm going in with the Anastasia matte lipstick in Spice. Usually I'll add gloss, but right now I'm feeling more of a matte lip. This is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. I plan on creating way more content, makeup content, and getting back to YouTube. Also, thank you guys so much for those who still are subscribed to me, follow me on Instagram even after not posting any makeup content for so long. It literally goes unnoticed, and I love you guys so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.